Saturday morning. It just looked like the best thing ever. I wanted to be that kid, and who's older, and I was only 4. And I met him, and I was in awe, and asked him how he got to be an actor. And he gave me a kind of a non-conclusive answer of, I just thought about it. So I did. But that was ultimately was the inspiration for my career. And to come full circle, I ended up, just before the Brady Bunch started, with an audition for the guest star role in an episode of Mission Impossible, and I got the role. And so I got to work with him as well. So it came full circle. You can hold that down.
Do the Brady's have millions, like they say in the
We do, but I would have to defer to somebody who would know that kind of thing. I think it was Michael Paul Brady, was Mike Brady's. I don't even remember Greg's, because it might have been in just one episode. So there, some were. It depended on.
I mean, it wasn't Greg, Johnny Bravo, Brady.
That's what I gave myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Why? Do you have a middle name?
Yeah.
Quid pro quo, Greg Brady. Quid pro quo.
Does it have anything to do with Johnny Bravo? Oh.
Mike.
Yeah. It's mine. Like that. Yes.
I think he was trying to stump you with a question you don't even ask.
Well, he did.
Nice.
You were assigned classic TV star cruise.
Nice. Look at this. Well, Barry's doing that. A funny Brady Bunch related story that helped destroy somebody's complete and utter celebrity. I grew up in Medina, Illinois. We had the big Medina golf course.
You're just bragging now.
Right? No, it was, my buddies go, you've got to be a caddy for a summer, man. The money's great here. And I go, okay. So I went and I caddied for a few weeks, and I hated it. I hated carrying around other people's stuff and cleaning their balls. And one day the guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, bring a football tomorrow. You can get an autograph. I'm like, oh, all right. Now, I was not a football fan growing up. All right, I had no clue. My dad had no patience to explain football to me, so I knew nothing. So I get there, and I'm standing in line with these goofballs with our footballs waiting to get signed, and there's this nice guy, and he's autographing all the balls. And he gets done, and they say, that's it. And he gets ready to go off with his group to go off and golf. And one of the other caddies comes running up behind me. He's like, is it too late? Is it too late? And I go, yeah, he's not signing autographs anymore. And I go, hey, here you go. And I toss him my ball. I go, it's just the actor from the Brady Bunch. So I gave away my Joe Namath signed autograph football. That's the same look my dad gave me, Barry. I came home, he goes, what did you need the football for? This isn't our football. And I said, I traded the guy. It was that actor from the Brady Bunch. And he goes, what actor from the Brady Bunch? And I go, that Joe Namath guy. My dad looks at me and goes, the last time we spoke. No, but what the best part was, his little group is about, when I say this to the kid, I'm standing here and I toss him the ball. His group is standing there and I go, it's just that actor guy from the Brady Bunch. All the guys in his crew turn around and look at me and then look at Namath and go, ha! That's the guy from the Brady Bunch! And Joe Namath goes,
Well, again, you can imagine the surprise it is for Joe. Now, I had not seen him since the Brady Bunch, and about 6 years ago, we were at an event. I didn't think he would know me from Adam, really. Turns out he is never allowed to forget that he was on the show. And so, I just stepped right into it. Of course, he called me Greg, but that's okay. But, he's still, like friendly and knows and very familiar with that. Like in the Hawaiian episodes with Don Ho. He became as well known for being on our episode of the Brady Bunch practically as he was as a singer, and always had to sing the songs that he sang in the show in his act. Davy Jones, same thing. That song that he sang, he put into and incorporated into his Monkees touring when they're on. Look what you've come to me, your closest friend. Okay. So that was in his show from then on. The Brady's live on. Hello.
All right,
All right.
so I'm ready to accept your challenge of not having the question you've never been asked. All right, friends with Dave, so I'm going to start talking about him. Have you personally had any paranormal experiences?
Well,
Have you been asked this before?
I'll still give you one of these, but I've actually done paranormal shows.
What?
Yeah.
I said,
So you should really watch the program I talk about.
I have. My father passed away in, let's see, 2006. 2006. My son was 3 at the time. And we were in my home, and I was in the kitchen fixing something, and I heard him having a conversation. And I looked out, he was under the dining room table having a conversation with his grandfather. And it was pleasant and nice, and it was obviously back and forth, because he was like answering questions, and he's checking in with, how his grandpa was, and I didn't interrupt it, I just let it happen and go, and I just thought it was really warm.
give them a challenge.
We'll take care of it.
And Christopher actually appeared, I think it was on the Celebrity Paranormal Project on,
Oh, did he?
yeah, like VH1 or so, where they put him in ghost hunting with Danny Bonaducci. So you were primed for weirdness then, which is very cool. And we've only got a few minutes left together.
Can you friends with David Cassidy?
David and I did not know each other. David, kind of in a cocoon of his own world, and never really reached out. So Danny speaks very highly of David. David, even when I approached him, was just never made himself available. So whatever.
Somebody's never heard the kissing story.
I don't know if I'd say mother, but I was certainly very fond of her. I would share with you, Florence is an amazing lady in so many ways. But what I did learn a great deal about from her and watched her was how to behave in public. She was so gracious with everyone, always took time, always went out of her way, would stop what she was doing, really appreciated the people that were either watching our show or coming to watch her perform, and it was a nice role model for me to see. Of course, I never adopted that, but at least I know what it should look like. She was a very, very, very gracious lady.
And if you'd like the background story, you have to pick up Growing Up Brady to read it.
It's a chapter called Dating Your Mom.
And then you got to kind of see it to fruition. Wasn't it the MTV Music Awards where you got to do I'm a nerd, I told you straight up. Where you got to reenact the scene from The Bodyguard, wasn't it?
That's right.
And you got to kiss.
Yeah, well, I also got my ass grabbed.
Yes. Got to lay a kiss. And then those video clips still exist, so you can educate yourself on that fun stuff.
I have a couple of questions, if that's okay. I was wondering about Imogen Coca and what she was like.
Let me see hands, people who know Imogen. Oh my gosh, that's great. Not the youngsters, but Imogen was the star on your show of shows with Sid Caesar, and a fabulous comedian, very shy. Oh, very, very shy. And she did an episode on our show where she was Jan's Aunt Jenny. So I didn't have a reference for her when she came, because your shows was not on, it was not in reruns, and a lot of the live shows weren't.
Right.
So I kind of had to learn about it. But it was just clear from the get-go when she got to the set and was rehearsing, getting ready to do scenes, what a consummate professional was, deceptively so, because she was almost airheaded, or it seemed like she was. And, she was almost like not concentrating. But boy, when she started talking, it would just all come together, and it was very, very entertaining. Yeah.
I was also wondering about the music that you guys made on the show. Was that something that came from the talents that you kids had, or was that something that Sherwood wrote into the show? How did that come about?
Well, clearly, some of us put more talent into it than others. That was my idea. I wanted to have music in my career, and I felt that we had this platform, and so I had meetings with Sherwood about it. And I said, look, it just seems to make sense to me with the Cowsills, with the Osmond Brothers, the Jackson Five, with some of the Franco Kids, some of the other shows, groups that were very, very popular, the Partridge Family, that we could have the Brady Bunch Kids. And he was a little bit reluctant, but worked out a way to do it as only he could with the contests and things like that. But of course, on the outside, Paramount Records picked up the ball and contracted us, and we made albums, etc., which is what we toured. I always thought it was fun. I loved singing, I liked going into the studio. I loved that we added music to it and gave it a little bit of slant.
I still have all my LPs and I still listen to them.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Hey, Barry. I got a question, and I don't know if you've been asked this before. With regards to the Johnny Bravo character, who came up with the brainchild? Was it the television production? Was it part of you? Was it part of reading Teen Beat or Tiger Beat magazine? Things of that nature?
I have no idea. It has nothing to do with Johnny Bravo character that we did on the Brady Bunch. They didn't check with us about it, other than the name. And the character, of course, is almost an Elvis type character, yes. So I was involved. I thought, you would think they might give me a shout, but no.
And obviously you felt comfortable playing the character, Johnny Bravo?
I have nothing to do with it.
No, he means on the series.
There was no other
Talking about your character.
On Brady Bunch. When you were
Talking about you.
That was before.
Right.
No, I love doing the Brady Bunch. I just spent 7 years in Branson trying to recreate it.
And the second question is, when the late Amy Jones was on your episode, did you guys off-screen get a chance to do compare music and in the business and trade ideas, things like that?
I was pretty jealous. He was coming on to Marcia pretty hard there.
Kind of like step in and...
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I did years later in 2010. I toured with Davey and Mickey Dolenz. I opened the show, and we traveled all over the country for a summer. And I did like about a 40-minute set, and then they came on and we traveled. So that was great fun. I got to know him pretty well then.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Barry Williams will be at his table doing autographs, signings, photographs. So make sure you stop by and come on up, grab a flyer, guys. Get out and live life. Take advantage of getting a chance to see all of your favorite TV celebrities on one cruise. I just got back from an amazing cruise doing these type of things, and I can tell you, you will have the adventure of a lifetime. And they are accessible and a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Williams. For those of you interested.
All right, so we're wrapping it up. This was fun, and we'll have to do this again. I found that there's another convention going on downtown Milwaukee in March called the Wisconsin Comic-Con. Not related to Wizard World or anything. Maybe we can check that out. We should check that out.
Yeah, we can see
It's
what it's
in March,
about.
and it's downtown, and we can do maybe parking pass for parking.
See what it's about.
Yeah, they haven't announced much about it. I just know I found it out on Facebook right after I got back from Wizard World. Like, okay, I'll apply for this. Why not? It's in March. So that's that, Kyle. Thanks for coming on. This is a lot of fun. That, as always, we'll continue on.
Yeah.
For those, actually, let me do the full wrap-up, and then I'll explain what's going on here. Let me get my sheet up here and do the full wrap-up. Hope I close my sheet.
Close, open, close, open.
I'll edit this out. Just give me a second. For more information on our show, including where you can hear our show, go to the